What is up, Kingston? Welcome back to the NTW3 Battlefield. Hope you guys are all doing well, and I hope you guys are not losing your minds with me not posting any videos. It's been a busy week. I was just thinking, I was like, man, maybe I should start a second channel to show all the work I'm doing on the side. And in that regard, I should say I'm doing a lot of yard work projects I had to get knocked out before I go back to work. And yeah. Super tired, but I had to at least get one video out before I had to go back to work again, and then trying to wrangle up a couple more replays for the next 4-day. But today we have a glorious clan, I believe, battle. Now this one's between the RC and the GR clans. You have on the Imperial side, so this is 5th Coalition 1809 match. Gotta love those coalition or those core battles. So on the French side, you have an 11-point Eugene, a 10-point Massena, which actually 10-point Massena is up here in the front by themselves, facing off against all the Austrians. However, you see Eugene is pushing up reinforcements already. But then you also have a Bernadotte and I believe a 10-point Davout, which is going across the bridge as we speak, trying to get to his friendly allies, trying to reinforce them. Small little bridge you have to rush across. It can take a while. Now on the other side, you have Austria with a 9-point Bellegarde, 10-point Hiller, 11-point Liechtenstein, and 8-point Hohenzollern. So a lot of obviously, well, basically the same on both sides. You have Austrians versus French. So although we do have the Saxons, I believe, Bernadotte has Saxon troops, I believe, that is, at least. Yep, a lot of Saxons. They're going to be the last army to reinforce. So the full weight of probably most of the French are going to be in the field pretty quickly on. Look at this, they had to single file onto this bridge. It's going to take them forever to actually get across this bridge. However, Davout has gotten a lot of his troops already across. Already has a lot rolling towards the reinforcing friendly lines. We do have a lot of cavalry maybe staring down on each other. Like I said, Eugene thankfully was able to rush up some cav to protect the left flank. The French have a lot of artillery set up with their infantry here. They have this LOC held as well. And this is, of course, the map of Gorsy. So a Polish map. You have some Eugene horse artillery already firing, picking off some of this Austrian cav. More artillery from Austria, and infantry's now making their appearance as they're going to start trying to push maybe around the flank of France. That's one of their biggest hopes, is that maybe they can kill one French army at least before reinforcing armies come up, because you see Eugene is still decently far away, and it's still basically on Massena with a little support from Eugene to try and make this defense last and not lose heavily. Yes, skirmishers already pouring in fire against the line infantry. So these are some light infantry. They've poured in a volley or two, and now they're actually going to fall back. The nice thing is this left flank has a lot of lagoons, small little ponds. That's going to kind of break up any enemy advance. But Austria really is pushing around this flank, going through some swampy, marshy area. As you can see, this kind of like ditch, kind of being the defensive line for France. They do have squares on this left side. Let's see, we have dragoons over here. So Austria probably doesn't want to actually take a cav fight. Well, maybe they do. Wow, they do want to take a cav fight. And actually, Austria seems to be doing a decent job of it as well. Oh, okay, so each side has lost one. We lost a Dragoon for France and one Hussar, I believe, for Austria. And now Austria may lose more cavalry as they have more and more light cav involved here. And Austria is going to definitely take losses here. However, like I said, France took some losses as well. I'm surprised they didn't try going for the skirmishers here. But France is throwing back any cavalry that Austria had, but we can start to see the masses of Austrian infantry rolling up this gully. Artillery, actually. I'm assuming this is from artillery. Wow. They're going to take shelter. Basically, this is Liechtenstein, I'm assuming. All the grenadiers, that's usually Liechtenstein. So he's having his troops shelter in the ravine. Then he's going to order up his first line of assault, going straight in at Eugen and Messina. And we still have the reinforcing Eugen pushing up. He is not there yet. Messina has to last a little longer, and there is a lot of weight behind this Austrian advance. However, the first cav fight has been a pushback, and we have Davout getting quite close here. He's using the road, so, you know, things aren't looking too bad as you see. I mean, Austria has quite... Oh, okay, look at this. Hold on. Look at that. We have an Austrian army rolling straight down the center, one frontal attack, and reserves for days here by Austria, artillery setting up. But then you have the columns of France from two different directions pushing up here. But now let us take a moment to enjoy this frontal assault. Austria is going straight into the guns, and France is not budging yet. Oh, this looks glorious already. And with this artillery so close, this is very good as long as they don't get shot down. They haven't lost any men yet. These guys can canister. I'm not sure if they're going to. Let's see. Oh yeah, they're canistering. Trying to drop some of these Austrians, and with the layered, that's going to start hurting a little bit. Oh, we have some cavalry charging in as well, some chasseurs cheval. A counter volley, though, from Austrian reserve line is just going to wreck these cavalry units. And things are actually not looking too good right now for France. You can see they should not be taking a line fight against Austria. This is probably Hiller. If that is Hiller, guys, then they are going to shred up the French. And France is going to be in a huge amount of trouble. But we do have Messina now getting troops up to this front line. Oh my gosh. That is so many Austrians. What are you going to do about that, you know? We have heavy cav clearing away and the heavy cav going in here. Unfortunately, horse artillery is probably going to get charged here. Oh, Messina is retreating. He's trying to get his artillery back too, but this is going to turn rough rather quickly, and there are no squares near. Oh no. Now he does have some chevaliers he could charge in, and we have more cavalry rushing in here, so this line's turning chaotic very, very quickly. As the artillery almost, oh yeah, all the artillery. Unfortunately, France is going to lose all of their guns. There's no way that they can win that fight. They're going to have to give up the guns, pull back the army. They saved 3 of their guns. Some cavalry did charge in here and is breaking a lot of infantry, and now the guns, actually he's probably going to lose those guns too. Things are not looking too good, guys. We do have a cav charge here, some carabiniers. That was not a good charge, though. But you can see over this left side, France is getting absolutely shredded here. They're in a line fight kind of warfare right now, and it is not going well for them. And these carabiniers did not get a good charge off whatsoever. They need to pull out of here. They're getting shot in the flank. Oh wow, we have some voltigeurs going straight in on the Austrian line. That was beautifully done. They saw a flank and they took that opportunity. Over here, Austria, you can see, is really pushing up hard on this French defense. And this fight just kind of launched out of nowhere. Cavalry now going in to support this line here. We did have France now totally pulling back here. They have artillery. I would use artillery to defend this left flank and let this part of the fight maybe you know, have a little bit of rest one way or the other. Now Liechtenstein looks to be throwing in some grenadiers. I'm assuming this is Hiller and Liechtenstein, and they just broke whatever attack France was making. And now we have some cuirassiers from Austria charging in, hitting some French Royal Guard, but they are probably going to go with the bayonet on France. Over on this side, oh, the cavalry from France just charged in and rolled over some skirmishers here. This left flank not looking too good. France needs to fall back. Now, like I said, they have Davout sitting right over here. He has some troops up in the front, but right now they need to fix this forward line because they are just getting such steady pressure by Austria. They cannot really make any sort of leeway. And this is turning chaotic very quickly. Looks like a medieval 2 battle at this moment. A lot of grenadiers in the front for Austria. The LOC still being held for now. Messina making a stand by it, trying to stop the Austrians from totally pushing back. But, oh man, distance has been made over here though. So Austria and France kind of breaking, but Austria is still pushing quite heavily here. Beautiful battle though, so gorgeous. France is trying to shuttle, Eugene's trying to shuttle troops towards this side. This is the side that reinforcements are needed. A lot of skirmishers, artillery, like I said, here. This artillery is actually able to help out very quickly here, but they got to defend this line because France is about to get charged, looks like, by some cavalry. And the infantry putting some steady pressure. There's no cav to defend this skirm wall. Oh, please tell me. If they fire point blank, then no. Oh, man. An excellent charge by the Austrians. Going to break up a lot of these skirmishers. The artillery in danger now. It does look like France has made a little bit of distance between themselves and Austria. Austria is going to have to be a little tired at this point. Their troops probably are a little exhausted, having made so many melee attacks. But France is just getting pummeled here on this left flank. They do have some heavy cav from Bernadotte. And Bernadotte's pushing up his infantry, whatever reserves he has, cuirassiers as well. As you can see, we have a column or a contingent of 4 infantry just waiting to throw themselves in down this road maybe and hit this Austrian flank. That may be the weak spot to counterattack. Cavalry charging in the back of Eugene, making this a little more difficult for France to make a stand. And you see Liechtenstein is pushing up super, super close. Oh, wow. Oh, that's just beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, man. Look at that. One volley is all it took, and these infantry from Eugene just broke. So, man, Austria's just really, really tearing up the reserves. However, I'm starting to like this. So they actually have a nice little ring of fire around the Austrian advance. And Austria's kind of pushing into it, but there's more French infantry firing on the Austrians than there is Austrians able to shoot. Now, Austria can pinpoint and focus down a portion of the French line and try to attack in trying to focus it, I should say. But I don't think they're doing that at the moment. They know the French have artillery that is firing, but they get focused down. They may break soon. However, you can see Eugene has shifted over more troops, so France is starting to reform their lines. Austria, surprisingly, didn't make a lot of advances here. They didn't seem to follow it up. They kind of gave the French some breathing room, and that may have hurt the Austrian attack in the future. Granted, maybe they wanted to deal with this left flank. The flanking fire from this LOC and infantry could be quite tough for Austria if they try pushing through. And it does look like we do have a push. A lot of troops focusing down in this area. This may be the weak point. This is where Davout maybe and maybe Bernadotte need to focus reserves. Look at this weak point in the line. This is massively weak in my opinion.
Sir, our general is under attack.
Especially when you start seeing enemy infantry massing up in that area. And I do see a lot of heavy cav from Bernadotte and Davout. This is a lot of heavy cav. So this is at least 4 units of heavy cavalry, maybe even 5. Although Garde du Corps are only 45 men, so it's not like there's tons of them. But we may see a general cav assault coordinated with infantry pushing. We also have that reserve that was over here in the road is pushed up with the rest of Davout's line, and they may actually make a push on Austria's left flank. Austria has pulled back from that. They even look like they have some artillery set up to defend it, and they're probably not going to make any more pushes on this side. They're going to let the push happen here, and here we go. We have a cavalry charge. So we have the cuirassiers from Bernadotte throwing themselves forward. We have line infantry charging in at the same time in coordination with more cuirassiers. Make sure nothing else is happening anywhere else. Yep, so here's that frontal assault. Austria trying to brace for it, but a beautiful charge. If they had cavalry here, they should be charging right in that gap. This cavalry should have stayed in this area. I don't know, that didn't seem to do too well. Oh, okay, so we have another cav charge going in here. Cuirassiers gonna smack the tree block over here. Beautifully done. That actually may help the French defense quite well here. As that heavy cav is going to do quite well. However, on the other side, once again, Austria seems to be locked in close range fighting here. And you can see Liechtenstein may have thrown up more grenadiers to basically blunt any French attack made. Now we do have Saxon troops up in the front lines now. Bernadotte's thrown up his division. We still have reserves, so it's not like the French are out of, options here. But they are going to start running low. Over on this side, we do have some cuirassiers, it looks like, from Austria now, charging in. They're going to smack into some French lines here, countercharging that French cuirassier unit. And we have a countercharge. Oh my goodness, Austria is just going full on attack mode here. It's like Saxon may be trying to stop that attack by charging with more cavalry. This is turning it to be confusing, guys. This is just, it's hard to tell what's actually happening here. Austria is full on committing to a bayonet charge. It actually doesn't look to be going too well for their countercharge. The cuirassiers are way in the back, able to recover. Oh, some more grenadiers from Liechtenstein up in the front lines. France is breaking, but so is Austria, but more French are breaking, it looks like. We have more heavy cav from Austria. They're probably not going to get a very good charge, though. And I would send it across here at some point. We have some breaking now from Austria here as Saxony is lunging forward. Even has some Eugen troops rushing on the flank where Austria really was making an attack. Okay, actually this attack may be going in favor of the French. Over here, we definitely, I would send in the cuirassiers, take on this grenadier unit while they're locked in melee. Yep. They're half developed, form square. Probably going to get just absolutely chopped up here. And maybe this field's really starting to clear up a lot. Now the mass route that Austria is starting to have is going to really start hurting their morale of their reserve units. as the troops from Austria run into their friendly lines. It's going to cause that morale debuff. And now we may have to be putting more pressure on this flank. Just a little bit of pressure. You know, you don't want to do too much. Over here, thankfully, it was really looking pretty bad for Austria, or for France here, but I think they actually have stabilized. Now, they took some heavy losses. I'm surprised Austria didn't throw forward more troops. Maybe they're trying to reconsolidate where France is strongest and go in. Oh, they have some grenadiers as well, throwing in the flanks. So maybe actually having a counter charge on the flank here, causing more morale problems for Austria here. So France may have actually somehow seized the initiative, taken it back, and they seem to do well. And there's still some Austrian troops way in the front here, stalling this attack. They need to deal with that Austrian line if they want to have any chance of being able to attack in coordination while Austria is on their back leg. But Austria has shifted that reserve line over, so if anything, they're going to stabilize. The routing troops seem to be running in this direction, so they maybe will be able to hold this center all right. Look at the death and destruction on the field, though. There's so much death here. So much. You have to be there to see it, you know? I honestly did not think Bernadotte was going to do quite as well in that attack, but they actually did a beautiful job. Saxon troops are a little more fickle than other French lines or French corps, so, you know, pleasantly surprised. Pleasantly surprised. And look at this, the Austrian general, I think you forgot about him. He's right in the front lines. He may actually get shot at by Austrian troops, and they lose a general. And Saxony's going in with bayonet charge, so they're maybe breaking up the artillery piece at least, maybe even getting in, disrupting this defensive line. We have Austria totally falling back on the right flank, pushing back as you see their Bernadotte's cavalry and then Davout's infantry all pushing up, putting a lot more pressure now. They have a lot more freedom to be able to advance. I'm surprised this French line hasn't pushed up on the flank here and tried surrounding the Austrian line, caving in almost behind them. Oh, we have some cavalry. Okay, it looks like they went for some artillery pieces, and now they're in the front lines disrupting another Austrian line. Over the Hussar counter charge. More cavalry, it looks like, trying to stop this advance. Stopping some grenadiers from trying to get up to the front lines. Oh dang, you can see the smoke, you can see the flashes, you can see where Austria is making their stand, where their lines are being held. There's still quite a lot of Austrians. However, you can see the French are advancing here on that left flank. And Saxony's pushing forward here. Oh wow, yeah, Bernadotte pushing up the front lines. He's just getting, you know, he's getting all swept away with emotions, and he's just probably like yelling, trying to encourage the man. He's danger close to some enemy cavalry. Now there is Austrian artillery on the left flank trying to defend it. It is definitely not shooting directly at the French that are pushing up to them, so they may lose those guns, and then once again it's going to cause Austria to have to fall back all on board. They definitely are. They're consolidating. They are outnumbered. I am actually kind of surprised that happened. I mean, the Austrians brought, what? One of their armies was 27,000, one was 23, one was 17. Actually, they have two that were, 27, 23, 17, and 17. Against 26, 25, 16, and 2,000. So I guess they're pretty dead even when it comes to numbers. I'm just surprised that Austria lost this fight against Bernadotte. Like, that fight, that rage right here, super surprised that went in favor of the French. Because Austria was looking at like they were going to win that. Who knows, in the midst of a massive all-out brawl like that, sometimes, you know, things happen that you didn't realize. You're able to click on the right troops to send them to the right place. And now Austria is on the retreat. And this is usually in a very realistic battle where the enemy would draw off and the battle would be over. Heavy losses on each side and both sides would fall back. Now we do have Saxon cavalry starting to harass the flank of this Austrian line. However, Austria does still have some cavalry that is, you know, trying to defend those lines. Alright, so now the Austrian flank seems to be putting up some sort of rear guard defense on this right flank, but they are in risk of maybe losing, you know, a portion of that if Bernadotte pushes quickly enough. And that's Bernadotte was a 7-pointer too. That's another thing that's shocking. Like I said, really surprised at how the battle turned. Really was not expecting that. We have more cavalry now fighting. Prince Clement Chevaliers. Ooh, we may even have... Look at this. There's generals here. If Bernadotte could throw their cav in, they could actually kill a general or two. Look at this. This is the hot spot of generals. You see France is really harassing this flank here with the 18th. They're probably not going to do a whole lot besides slow down a portion of this flank, but they're not going to do very much else. And Austria seems to really have, well, making their stand, I guess. In a way, I don't know where they would actually fall back to. Maybe they're going to hold around this LOC. But you can see Bernadotte is already pushing all the way around, so they may try to harass if they actually do try to make any sort of stand. Still a beautiful battle. I'm gonna have to come back and get some cool screenshots. Oh, and here we go. That cavalry in the back going for one of the generals. Sorry, I'm expecting kids keep popping in. This happens I don't record very often. All of a sudden, they don't know what recording means anymore. They want to spend time. You know, I can't get upset about it. Alright, so we have Bernadotte harassing the lines. This is so much infantry. This poor cav is not going to probably survive this. But they still are stalking the Austrians, dead in their tracks, attacking them from two sides with crosshairs on one side. I mean, honestly though, France is not, they definitely have not have a high number advantage yet. Like, they have almost the equal amount of troops as Austria. Austria, unfortunately, just got hit by a morale debuff, and so all their troops are mass routing, which is going to make this flank super weak. And France should really capitalize on that and push up quickly with what they have to try to break apart whatever remains of that defense. thing, though, is Austria still has a very good defensive line. They are not going to be easily defeated here. This line will stand. Now, the flank is definitely where France can make some moves here and disrupt this front line. As you can see, Bernadotte is getting absolutely devastated in a line fight as of right now. I mean, these units are probably getting very concerned about casualties sustained. They're way smaller than the Austrian line units. They're probably start 40 men units, you know, versus like 100 and something. Oh, we have some grenadiers. They gotta keep pushing this side, get some cavalry in there. Because Austria is making a turnaround. They've broke the front position. Austria should be counterattacking. They should be counterattacking through this gap, trying to exploit it, wrap around and destroy this right flank. Is that the general staff or is it his cav? That's the general staff even throwing himself into the fray, interestingly enough.
The men of the teams are a must.
Oh, Austria's starting to have some losses. I mean, France has definitely got thrown back. Saxony really trying to break up this flank. This is just a shootout. Either side could win at this point. Davout is going to push up his remaining reserves, although, man, Davout has 4 units way back here. This center, guys, this is where it's going to be won or lost for France.
Our men are running.
What's Eugene doing? Wow. It's a general battle. Where's the Austrian general? Where is he? Where is he? Oh no, Eugene has broke. Eugene ran away. Oh, another cav charge. More crosshairs who are wounded, but they still are going to get a nice charge off. Maybe. Yeah, I'd pull them back as quickly as possible, let them rest up. Alright guys, there's 23 minutes remaining. Austria definitely does not have LOCs in order to win. So it is still up to them. Yeah, the shift kept the last of his reserves. They can wear down the Austrians and force them to not be able to fight anywhere. Austria just has to pick and choose where they want to fight. They could win this still. This is very, very realistic way. Austria could win. It's very realistic. It is also realistic that France will win. France actually should be maybe not so...
This building has fallen to the enemy.
I don't know. They took the LOC. France should not go close to this LOC, in my opinion. Just stay back, let them fall back. Let me look at the LOCs here. So there's a 2-point tier and a 1-point tier. Versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 3. Yeah, so 6 technically. So I mean, Austria would have to sneak troops all the way around to get to there. I don't think that's gonna happen. They just gotta hope that France breaks themselves, shatters themselves in the next 5 to 10 minutes the most, and then they can rush over. I don't think they'll get to the other LLCs quickly enough. Unfortunately, all the French artillery is stuck because they were bayonet charged. They had to pull them off the guns, so they're stuck there. So yeah, this is just a kind of grindy end to the battle. fast forward a little bit here because it looks like it's just a little bit of shooting, and that's it. Left flank of skirmishers, they could really start to outshoot this Austrian line, but that's an attrition war. Still, it would work, especially if you get a ton of French skirms. We do have a decent push. Eugene shifting over with Messina. We even have France maybe pushing into the town. Yeah, but both sides are going to be a little more cautious. Like I said, this isn't like one of those things where you just rush into it. You kind of got to be a little more slow, methodical, because you don't want to lose, you know? While France pushing this side, Austria maybe actually be pushing up here. Yeah, I don't know what I'd do in this case except for pull back into the town to force them in and then use your best melee troops if you have any of any left really good like Deutschmeister or Grenadiers. That would be the time to use them. Hiller, if Hiller has any lines left. Good infantry that's good for melee. Guys are active, so they can definitely get a charge off. Oh no! Why'd you guys stop? Alright. I had a panic moment there for them. Here we go. That's gonna help quite a bit here. No, don't keep charging in. Pull those crosshairs back. Let them rest. And to fast forward again, it looks like still just a big old shootout, you know. Man, that has to be thousands of soldiers that died there. Thousands, you know. I mean, if we see here, so 25, 50,000 so far, 6,000, 7,000. So 9,000 French troops versus, let's see, that's about 4, 5,000, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 9,000 on each side.
We have taken a building, sir.
So 18,000 troops on the field, guys. Basically, 18,000 troops. Rough estimate, obviously. Maybe a little bit more than that, a little less than that. But that is a lot of forces. Yeah, they're starting to take LOCs just because, you know, you want to make sure that you have that stuff because Austria's going to start trying to make some moves. They've garrisoned all these LOCs. Austria is actually looking to be getting surrounded here. France going in for the bayonet. They just need to seize this LOC. I'm assuming a really good Austrian unit is in there. Oh, there is artillery. That's nice. I mean, France isn't careful. They've encircled the Austrians, but there is a way for Austria to break out. If they go directly this way, there's 2 units, plus some artillery, plus a small Saxon force. There's nothing else to stop Austria from rushing this position with everything they got and going straight for all these LOCs. They would take some losses, I would guess, just because of the artillery. And the artillery's now going to start raining down hell on this Austrian line. Oh, here we go. Davout's going in. This is artillery. Oh, Austria's gonna break. Yeah. Looks like France is going in for this rear guard of Austria. They have troops across the river. It's making kind of difficult. Oh no. Oh, these grenadiers, they were given a tough job.
Our men are running first.
But they behaved heroically in the face of battle. They're probably gonna break. They're shaken. But it's gonna distract. They had a worthwhile job. And a distraction was created and let the French get more troops in. So, you know, they will be remembered. They will be remembered. And this is the remainder of Austria here. And France is now going to close in. This battle will be over. A victory for France. And what a hard-fought victory that, quite honestly, especially in the beginning when Messina took such heavy losses.
Men are running, sir.
I was concerned. I really was concerned. The Austrians had such a strong attack going. And it seems to me, ooh, nice cab charge in the back. That Crossier has done some mighty work. But it did seem like Austria slowed down for a split second in their attack, and I think that gave France a chance to reform. That first attack, they were pushing, they were in contact. France was routing constantly.
Now they must break.
And then out of nowhere, it just stopped. They just, maybe they ran out of troops. Maybe all the troops in the front were exhausted. I'm not sure. I think if they had been able to shuttle more troops up to the front and kept pushing and not stopped because it looked like they were reforming, they would have won. I definitely would have won. It would have been a different kind of a battle. Would not have been as close, probably.
We've taken a building, sir.
But you know, can't always have it. You can't always follow it up. There may have been, like I said, there probably was a reason why it wasn't unable to work. So. But let me just skip to the end, guys, to the results here. We can see the kills and all that. So, just give me 1 second. I'll skip to the end. All right, you can see on the French side. So, this one was the 10-point Davout. And you can see his Crossiers got the most kills, 357. Grenadiers, 231. Then 100, man. 100 kills for almost half his army, at least. So, very well done on that part. Now, you see the whole battle results. You have T.T. Ross with 1377 for the kills. You have Jackal with 1586. You have Pope with 1464. And Bring Back Militia with 2013. On the other side, Little Smurf with 1721. Worker with 1262. Meph with 1293. And Argents with 838. So you can see, man, basically everybody got way over 1,000 kills. Well played on both sides. What a well played, hard fought battle. I really enjoyed it. I hope you guys did as well. But that'll be it for me today, guys. Thank y'all so much for joining me. You guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe, and as always, I will catch you all in another video.